Alright fam, welcome back to Live Like Lo. This is Lo, and today we are going to be doing a channel message to talk to the ancestors. Now, I received that we were going to be getting a large message for what's going to be happening in your next quarter. So my messages are timeless. They come to you when you need them the most. And anything that's just kind of mentioned here is allowing you to tap into the energy of when this is being recorded, allow you to take that wisdom, that energy, whatever advice the spirit is giving you, and to apply it to your life so that you can overcome whatever setbacks or circumstances that you may have in order to level up. I am Lauren, the Alchemical Oracle, and what I do here is I read for your highest timeline. All of my content is specifically made to help you align to your highest timeline, to know thyself, and to tap into the mysteries of the universe. And you'll find lots of gems and nuggets that you can apply to your life and literally transform into the phoenix, into the creator that you are on this channel. So let's get into this message. Let's see. Oh, okay, sorry y'all. They are reminding me to make sure, because I always forget to say this on my videos, but like, if my type of content aligns with you and you really like this video, please tap in and subscribe. And if in this reading anything resonates with you and you want to share, please let us know down in the comments. Okay, I love listening to you guys' comments. It is everything. Okay, that be making my day. If there's some questions that you have or some resources that you're looking for, you can definitely ask those questions in the comments, and if I'm able to find something for you, I will link it below. Okay. All right. I call forth the greater I am, the ancient of days, the son of days, and the daughter of days. I call forth Amen Ra. I call forth the Aten, the fullness that you are, the consciousness that you are, the space that you are, and the is that you are. I call forth Mother Isis and Father Tehut. I call forth Saint Martha and to help us in communicating and organizing this message as we see fit. I call forth the collective ancestors, higher selves, and guides, that each message that is given through me and to the collective is made fully and collectively in their highest good. May each person receive what they need as they need in the way that they can understand, clear and concise. I now open this channel for communication. I call forth Archangel Michael to cover me and this room and each and every person listening until this message is complete. May you be covered, protected, that no negative entities, energies, intent, thoughts, or otherwise may penetrate you at this time. Anything that is lingering within you are now called to exit until further notice, so it is. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna start with just some touchstone messages. The biggest thing that's going to be happening right now for you is that life is literally about to be looking real different. Okay, Spirit wants you to know that not only are you going through an awakening, but you are expanding the ideas of who you believe that you are. As we begin to know more about ourselves and we begin to get access to new levels of information, we as a identity are required to fill out more space of our spirit and allowing our identity to expand to new levels and new heights. And as we are expanding, we are also able to access new things, new paths, new things that are coming into your life. And I feel like at this time, Spirit Spirit wants you to know you are heavily protected, but it is also a very uncomfortable time, because with expansion, there is also chaos. Because when you go into a realm that is unknown, there is not a lot of monotony. There is not a lot of systems. Okay, some of you who have specific systems as it pertains to rituals that you do on a day-to-day basis, what you do when you wake up, what you do when you work, what you do on certain days of the week, what you eat, all of that stuff, it's starting to just get jumbled up. And Spirit wants you to understand this is because of your expanding nature. So these systems are going to have to be reworked over the next few months in order for you to gain some type of footholding in your day-to-day life. Now, this is also going to come up in you seeing your emotions be erratic, because at this time you are going to be purging old thought forms, old mechanisms, old ways of thinking, old paradigms, old stubbornness, okay? And you're going to be letting go of that. Now, there is a big thing happening this season where Spirit is now going to start protecting you from yourself, which means that you're going to start being forced to let go of things, people, situations, places, etc. Spirit is not allowing people to touch bases with you on a day-to-day basis, or be able to be in communication with you regularly. If there are toxic people in the past, they will start to reveal their truth. They will start to reveal themselves. They will also start to tell on themselves. They will start to be honest. Even in the ways that they are their own toxicity, they will have to confess their truth to you. Understand that all of the things that are in an otherwise unfair dynamic, Spirit wants you to understand that these are reviews so that you can see that life is about to get very good. But all of the mess is to show you, oh, I don't like that. I don't want to deal with that person anymore. I don't want to have these types of situations. I know that I can release these types of thinking, and I can create these types of safeguards for the people that I can't just completely kick out the door of my life. Does that make sense? There is a big call for you to start setting boundaries with people as well. There's a lot of people who want to come into your life. They are begging, they are knocking at the door, they are saying, I want to be with you. Whether that's a friend, a lover, a work situation, they can't do without you. But before, they thought that you were nothing. A piece of grand, something that you can just step on. An unfortunate piece of shit. A grain of sand, lower than a blade of grass. They did not know what they called upon. They did not know what they had in their hands. You are like stardust, unrecognizable to the human eye, unperceivable in beauty, in the soul and in the spirit, and people tend to mistreat you. It's time to rise up out of that. It's time to stop thinking that that's what you deserve. It's time to stop believing the negative things that they say about you. The rumors, the shade, the passive-aggressive statements and comments. It's time for you to realize that you are worthy. It's time for you to get up and realize that you are worth more than gold. It's time for you to get up and realize what's important. Today's the day after the eclipse in April. And Spirit is telling me this symbolizes transformation and rebirth. For you, it's time to be reborn. It's time to allow your heart to purge. It's time for you to stop suppressing those feelings of inadequacy. It's time for you to stop suppressing those feelings of unlovableness, of unworthiness. It's time for you to understand what it feels like. Allow yourself to feel it. Breathe into it. Understand that it only needs to be felt to be released. There is nothing for you to do at this time. Some of y'all are like little tinkers. You just work on yourself. It's so much shadow work. Not enough love work. Not enough releasal. Allow yourself to release at this time. This is not the time for logic. This is not the time for research. This is not the time for more is better. This is the time for movement, yoga, meditation, long walks, and contemplation. Allowing yourself to feel in the emotional state, to drink your water, to detox, to juice. It's time for you to take the actions that allow the movement of your energy and the purging of your energy. Today is around spring. Spring just started a few weeks ago for this video. And in the fall, we are all so excited for the breeze, excited for the slowdown. And in the winter, we consume, we rest. We consume and rest mostly. But in the spring, we awaken. In the spring, we take what we've consumed and transmute and rebirth it. In the spring, we are renewed. And in the summer, we bloom. You're about to enter your blooming season. Something that happened a few weeks ago, this is coming up to me, is that when spring first came, it's like March 21st, I was walking around my neighborhood and I tend to talk to the trees. And there's this one tree, when I was very sick, it would encourage me to keep moving, keep exercising, keep visiting, so that I could keep my heart rate up, allow myself to purge. And one day, recently, I went to see him, and he said to me, there are times where you feel like you are in the wilderness alone, and that nature, mother, spirit has left you alone. You have been battered and bruised by storms. You have been hit and struck by lightning and still lived. You have been devastated with drought and infectious diseases and bacteria. And still you rise. Still you open your eyes in the morning. Still you get up and move. Still you say, I can. Still you say, I am. Still you open up your heart and shine. And in the spring, some of us wake up a little bit earlier than others. And you need to know it's okay to be a late bloomer, a late awakener. It's okay to be the most beautiful, the most handsome in the garden and still take a thrashing from nature and be strong and be wise and persevere and still be able to grow tall, still be able to lift your chin in your head and see His truth. Today, this is a truth for you. You've been through some shit. And it's time for you to stop thinking about the shit that you've been through as a L, as a down, as a lesser story. This is your life. This is your story. They said, and like Rocky, bitch, get your ass up. It's time for you to receive what you've been working so hard for. There is love coming into your life. There is fulfillment coming into your life. There is soul family coming into your life. And for so long, you have been alone. You have been beaten. You have been bruised by life. But understand, with all of that comes wisdom. Something that no one can teach. Nothing but life. Nothing but you can know the wisdom that you have and the way that you've experienced it. And that wisdom, as you are now about to apply every inch into your life, as you are pulling yourself out the muck of ick darkness and into a period where you can allow it. You can allow the light to shower you. You can allow the light to cleanse you. Not because you are dark, so that you can be clean of any previous programming, of any previous wounding. That your wounds can be clean so that they may heal. So that you can be happy, so that you can feel content. So that you can experience joy on a daily basis. So that happiness visits you daily, hourly, weekly, minutely, secondly, throughout your day. Because you deserve that. It's time for you to break away from, I can't, I won't, I'll never be able. It never works out for me. I'll never be able to get what I want. I just keep trying and it just won't work. Everyone would be better without me. Break away from those chains. Release that negative energy, those negative energies lurking in your ears. My child, you are loved. Not just by the ancestors, but by the Creator. Not just by them, but by the deities and the spirits of the land. You have everything you need at your feet, even if you can't see it yet. The path is paved and lined with grace, lined with blessings, lined with more every step of the way. And you can't see that shit. Not yet. You have to step and receive. You have to step and give. You have to sacrifice the old so that you can have room for what you're about to experience, because it is going to be blessed. You are about to be so blessed. But you also need to believe that it's real. You also need to make room for what it is, for what you are ready for. You've been asking for a long time, and those truths are coming right now. Allow yourself to have the more. Allow yourself to feel the truth that you are. Allow yourself to remember. Now they're telling me like, put down your phone, close your eyes. Remember what it's like to be happy. Remember what it's like to feel joy. Remember what it's like to have peace in your life right now. Remember the smile on your face. Remember the joy in your voice. The slight giggles and smirks that you make. Remember that light-hearted feeling. Remember that gratitude. No matter the situation, these things are always available. But first you must coincide with your heart. Come to terms with it. And once you have alleviated yourself from whatever you expected to happen. You will then find that joy is available, that peace is available. Sometimes we go through situations and things don't work out the way that we wanted them to. And later we find out that L was a setup for a win. And we can be grateful. But in the meantime, between the setup and the payoff, we need to find solace in ourselves, with our inner self, with our master within, with our God within, with our higher self, with our inner child, with our inner team. The one who leads us through our chaos into our rewards, into our stability, into our organized fashions and passions. They want to kind of touch on right now, more specifically about people. For some of you, you've been alone for a really long time. Maybe you feel like you've been along, pushed along, moved along, passed up on. But Spirit is saying, get ready, because you're going to start meeting people who are your soul family. They're going to be very different from you. They're not going to be the type of people that you've experienced before. But they are going to embody something that will feel so right to you. Allow them into your heart. Allow them to love you. But also know that there are people who will see you in the receiving energy of the Creator and think that they can prey upon you. They can prey upon you. They can steal your blessings and steal your stuff. But you need to remember, as long as you become aware of people who come to try to steal your joy, your happiness, your peace, it is easy for you to remove them from your life. To remove them and to make your life more peaceful, more happy, more free. For you to feel loved and whole, and to remember who you are. Stop taking it so personal also, that those who wish to prey upon you want to prey upon you. Sometimes you look at them and you're like, why would you do such a thing? They do such a thing because they can't see it within themselves to get it for themselves. They can't see it in front of themselves that isn't an option to create it for themselves. They think in the process, the mentality, the energetics, the timeline of scarcity, of survival, of get it by any means, of crush anyone in front of me who is blocking my goals. And you don't live there anymore. You haven't for a long time, actually, even if you think you have. It's time for you to see the truth in who you are. It's time for you to be able to see when someone is not on your path, is not on that energy, on that mindset, on those emotions. Listen to their words. Look at what they do. Stop allowing these people into your life and then you're like, oh, surprised. Watch how they treat the people around them. Spirit is very specific with you right now because you're going to get an influx of options. With soul family doesn't always mean forever. Soul family doesn't always mean amazing. Soul family are people they're people you can relate to. They're people that your soul has history with. And in the spiritual context, when we think of soul family, we think of people who are going to love us, who are going to look at us differently, who are going to accept us because we haven't been accepted. But you know what? There are soul family that come to prepare you for a permanent position. There are people that come into your life that are soul family. They're only there for a season and a reason. A lesson. And when you quickly get that lesson, because those people will show up as users, they will show up as narcissists, they will show up as negative people, users, people who want to have what you have, but instead of growing with you, they want to rip the rug up underneath your feet and watch you fall down and laugh at you. What we want you to understand is that those people are not your enemies. Yes, in a human sense, they are your enemies. They are against you. But the truth of the matter is they came to prepare you for something else. They came to show you something so that you don't squander what you're about to receive. When a person, a negative energy tries to come and take something from you, it's because you're about to receive something. And while they are there, and because you see them there, you see them playing around in the position, and you're telling them they cannot take a seat at your table. It also brings your attention to the seat. And then you begin to prepare the seat. So then when something else, a person, a place, a situation, an opportunity comes, and that is the seat that it's supposed to be in, because you are focused on clearing the seat, it is coming in to sit in that seat. And because now it is something that has sat in that seat, your blessing is here in the right seat. Your blessing, when you clear a seat, something can sit down in it. They want to remind you you're being prepared. Whenever you see someone coming up into your face with that toxic shit, just know in your head, I'm about to receive some great shit. Yes, you're going to have to quickly learn that lesson. Hopefully, you don't get sucked into that cycle, right? We've talked about this a lot. Getting in and out of cycles quickly. Not allowing the cycle to close a loop on you. When people come into your life, you have a 3-step lesson. After you fail those 3 steps, it starts over, but it becomes more intense. Then it starts over, and then it becomes more intense. You have a 3-step cycle. It happens 3 times before you get locked into the cycle and have to go around one more time. Does that make sense to you? Now they wanted me to give you a quick example before we move on. So, imagine you meet someone and they don't necessarily value your time, so they don't always show up when they need to show up. They cancel, woo-de-woo. But they look beautiful. They look handsome. So you give them a pass once. The second time, you have a date planned. You've gotten dressed. And at the very last minute, work comes up. Something that makes sense. It makes sense. Why they're not coming. You don't have your date. You got dressed for nothing. They're not coming. The third time, you meet this person, you have a great time, y'all go out, etc., etc. But then the entire time, even though you're having a great time, you notice that their attention wanders from you. Whether they're looking at other people, whether they're talking the entire time about work, whatever it is, they are not present. They don't understand how to be present. This is your third sign that this person is not going to be there for you. They are not consistent enough to be relied on. They will never be consistent. Now, I get it. Some of you are like, but you know, that doesn't mean blah, blah, blah. Okay. It means that they don't have their priorities together. It also means that if you continue your first date, your second date, your third date, what did you see? In the first date, you saw you weren't a priority. In the second date, you couldn't be a priority because you didn't fit inside of their priority structure. It also shows they don't have a lot of control over their time. The fact that they waited to the very last minute to tell you, they do not know how to communicate effectively. If they had just found out, okay, give them a little slack. But most of the time, if someone waits right up until the time that you are supposed to be picked up, that means they had up until the point that they were supposed to be at your door and didn't call, didn't text. I feel like this is very specific. If this is you, please do not give this person any more of your time. This person is showing you that you are not a priority in that life. And yes, you are new. But if you want something, what do? You make time for it. Do not sacrifice yourself for someone else's attention. Because what you will find is that now that they've showed you one time, one cycle, they will do it again. The next time, it may not be every time. So it may be 3 more months before, okay, you're with this person and it's your birthday. And something comes up at the very last minute. It's super important, but it's something they can't say no to. But they don't prioritize you because they find this thing to be more important, so you're not together for your birthday. Okay, that turns into a big thing. It molds over. 2 months later, they're doing something, blah, 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 blah. They get a raise, and the first thing that they do is they go do something. They go out of town with friends and they spend a bunch of money, but you guys were supposed to be looking for a place together. So they didn't put any money aside, even though they got a new sign-on bonus with that. They went and spent it. Small things. Small things. It doesn't mean that a person cannot grow out of these things, but why do you want to be the one? Don't be the one who is to teach someone how to grow out of their own stupidity and out of their own way for not prioritizing what matters to them. Spirit really is kind of like putting on my heart right now specifically that you need to remember. Oh, that's very specific. You need to remember what your priorities are. Like you need to sit them in on a list and remember what they are. They're telling me I've gotten way too off track, but they want me to tell you that you need to stop giving people the benefit of the doubt so much so that you end up sacrificing yourself. That there will stop attracting most negative people in your life because you will cut them off quickly. Quickly. Within a few days, within a few weeks. For some of you, when it comes to friendships that aren't very right away, within a year. And you won't waste much more of your time. Does that make sense to you? Okay. Is there anything else that we need to speak on? Some of you will be receiving lovers in the soul family, or if you're already in a relationship, Your relationship will start to be rekindled. Some of you, your partner has been going through a growth cycle and it's been intense. Allow them to have that space and focus on yourself for the time being. It just is what it is. For those of you who are coming into a connection, you will begin this connection very honeymoon, but the next 3 months of this connection will require you and this person to do heavy healing in order to be together. And if they don't do their healing work, this relationship is going to get real toxic real quick. And Spirit is telling, for some of you, this is very specific, you need to set a boundary with this person immediately. As soon as you see it, hey, if you're not in a place right now to grow and build with me, we could try this again another time. I'm not going to be building with you if you're not going to be also building with me. If you're not ready for the type of commitment it takes to build with someone, take your time and let me know when you are ready. And that's okay to do. Even if you feel like someone is the right person for you, you don't have to latch on to them. If they're for you, they'll get their shit together. Or they'll go off, have the experiences they need, and come back, and they'll be ready for you. Or you'll find somebody who actually got their head on straight and will get their shit together. So I hope that this reading has resonated with you. I feel the energy leaving me, so I feel like we're kind of tied up here. We're done. I hope that you continue to rise, that you continue to put one foot in front of the other, and you continue to thrive, being yourself, and always following the wisdom and the knowledge of your highest I. May you continue to do your fucking thing, to be the one that you are, to be loved and held in the arms of the Creator as you both experience the wondrous experience that is you. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.